Hi, I'm Bridget Eslinger with the Health and Wellness Bootcamp, and we're here today with episode 10 of the Health Warrior series. We're talking about essential oils. You don't want to miss this, so come back and join me. Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me today for episode 10 of the Health Warrior series. It's so hard to believe that we're already on episode 10, and I'm so grateful that you're here sharing this with me. Today we're going to talk about essential oils and how they can help us with our overall health and wellness. And essential oils are found everywhere. I mean, they're abundant nowadays. And so the important thing is to know and understand them and how to use them. If you're using them for everyday life, if you're using them for a health issue or a health challenge, or maybe you just want to introduce them into your home as a beautiful scent. Either way, they have beautiful properties, and we're going to talk about those today. So essentially, what are the essential oils? Essential oils can be found, like I said, almost anywhere nowadays, from candles, lotions, cleaning products, but they're so much more, and they have so much more than a great scent, and they have such very powerful healing properties to them. But the most important thing is to use them correctly. So essential oils are organic compounds that are extracted directly from the root, the seed, the bark, the leaf, a flower, or a fruit of a plant or a tree. That's a lot, right? So if we really just step back and think about that, what God has created for us, what's been placed on earth for us to utilize in our lives to keep us healthy, it's all right in front of us. And if we just utilize those properties, those beautiful compounds that are in these plants or trees, they help us out tremendously, and they were put here for a purpose. So knowing and understanding that is what we're going to dive in today. We're not going to get into real deep into the essential oils and all their chemical properties, but we're going to talk about the fundamentals and the basics and how you can start to introduce them into your day-to-day life. So when I talked about the compounds, the chemical compounds in the essential oils or their flower or the tree they come from, these compounds are what actually protect that plant or that tree from the harsh environments. It helps it adapt to its surroundings. It's what shields it and protects it. In some instances, it's what protects that plant from being destroyed by, an invader, an insect, or an animal, for instance. So when we utilize that in our bodies, think of it as the same way. It's combating, an antigen of some sort, a microbe of some sort. So just setting the stage as we dive into this a little bit more. And then I want to just add this. I want you to be aware that not all essential oils are created equal. Absolutely not created equal. So there's a lot of people out there trying to profit from the essential oils and doing the extractions to get those properties from the plants or the trees, the flowers, like I talked about. So be very careful and wary when you start to look for essential oils and how they are extracted and how they're being utilized, because even though they have great chemical compounds that help our bodies, or better yet, are just that beautiful scent, if you're inhaling them, putting them on your body, using them in your home, etc., those can have a toxic effect if the essential oil compounds that are being extracted and how it's extracted wasn't done correctly. So let's talk about some of those. Steam distilled is not exactly the quality process for getting essential oils. When we do steam distillation, it kills those chemical compounds, and that makes it harsh, right? It's harsh on the plant, the tree, the root, the leaves, whatever it is that it's being extracted from. Heat kills those compounds, and we don't want that. So essential oils should be cold extracted, CO2 extracted, which is as little heat as possible. And that CO2 extraction does not involve using any chemicals like hexane or ethanol. And then lastly here, the certified USDA organic, 100% pure, therapeutic grade, indigenously sourced are the most beautiful essential oils. And I'm going to talk about that in depth more here in just a moment. So just hang on. Let's talk more about what essential oils are, right? Just to give you some idea of how powerful these properties are. It takes 27 square feet of lavender plants just to make a 15 milliliter bottle of essential oil, of lavender oil. So when I say a 15 milliliter bottle, right, that's like 0.5 ounces. It takes 256 pounds of peppermint leaves to make 16 ounces of essential oil. 75 lemons to make, again, that 0.5 ounce or that 15 milliliter bottle of essential oil. And this last one is pretty profound. 60 rose petals to make a single drop of rose oil. So when you're looking to buy essential oils, this is a key indicator. If you're looking at a array of essential oils and they all are the same price, that would be your first clue. The first clue is not all essential oils are going to cost the same based off what I just described. If it takes 60 rose petals to make a single drop of rose oil, that should not cost the same as a peppermint essential oil, right? So just know when you're looking at the essential oils, if they all have a varying price range, I'd probably steer clear and look for a more holistic, better derived essential oil that has the USDA label on it. And like I said, we're going to talk about that more in a minute. So back to what essential oils are. Essential oils have been used for thousands of years by the Chinese, the Indians, the Egyptians, the Greeks, the Jews, the Romans, all for medicinal purposes, cosmetic purposes, and even perfumes. And they also work great in cleaning products. So this isn't something new. It's been around for a very, very long time. We just lose touch with nature, right? Like I said earlier, things were placed here for us to utilize, but we get so caught up on what can be manufactured and processed and, made more readily available. But the downside of that is it can be very toxic to us, and we don't want that in our bodies. So next, why should I use essential oils? So as like I mentioned, essential oils contain the different chemical compositions that affect how the oil smells, how it's absorbed, and how it's used by the body. For example, some of these properties, as I mentioned earlier, are antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral properties. That's pretty powerful when we think about an essential oil can help us in those, like you'll get a prescription drug. Well, perhaps an essential oil could very well have the same effect. Other essential oils fight fungal infections, reduce stress, and boost your immune system. So as we go through today, I'm going to talk about the top 10 essential oils that you can start to use in your everyday life and what some of those properties are, and they cover some of those I just described. So more about why we should use essential oils. Right? These very small molecules which can be penetrated through your cells of your body. Some of the compounds in the essential oils can even cross the blood-brain barrier, which means it gets in quickly and helps support us. Essential oils can be placed anywhere on the body, and typically you want to use a carrier oil when you use them, and we'll talk more about that as well. But anywhere on the body, because they are transdermal, which means that they pass through the skin and into your circulatory system and into your cells. And then lastly, why would you want to use essential oils? If you're looking for a more natural way and a cost-effective way to treat health conditions threatening your quality of life and just have a more holistic way of cleaning your home and surrounding yourself, then absolutely essential oils can literally do this for you. You can put your health in your own hands for a fraction of the cost just by creating your own personal care products and your household cleaning products. And again, as we go through these top 10 essential oils that are best to start using if you're new to them, we're going to talk about that as well. So the basics of essential oils, the different ways that you can use these essential oils, right? Aromatically or in a diffuser. Essential oils can be inhaled as you diffuse them into your home or into your office space. The blood vessels in the lungs absorb the oils and then circulate through the entire body. And this by far is the safest way and the least risky way to use essential oils. You just diffuse them, they're in your breathing space, you breathe them in, and it's gentle to the body to absorb those and utilize them. Secondly, topically. And this is a great way to introduce essential oils as well. Applied to the skin, essential oils penetrate the skin and pass through the bloodstream, benefiting many different areas of the body. This can be achieved by adding essential oils, like I said, to your own personal care products that you make, perhaps adding them to your bath water or a compress, soaps, lotions, shampoos, conditioners, and cleaning products, as I mentioned. And then I also mentioned earlier about when you use essential oils, be very mindful and make sure you're using a carrier oil. And when we talk about a carrier oil, I'm talking like coconut oil, jojoba oil, sweet almond oil. There is a whole laundry list of essential oil, carrier oils that you can utilize. Olive oil is another good one, grapeseed oil. All of those can be utilized as a carrier oil for the essential oil. And this is probably a good practice for most of the oils that you come in contact with. There are some that can be applied neat directly to the skin. And again, those are few and far between. You just have to be cautious of this, know and understand your body, because everybody is different on how they react, and if you have any sensitivities to these, because essential oils are just like anything else in our everyday lives that we get exposed to. Some person may have a reaction to it and others may not. It's all about you and your body. So just make sure you pay attention. And then I want to add one last thing about transdermal and topically when you apply essential oils topically. A lot of times you might hear someone say you can apply them to the soles of your feet. And this is a wonderful place to apply essential oils if you're really looking for it to get into your blood, into your circulatory system a lot quicker. And the reason for this is the sebaceous glands that are in our hands and feet. We don't generate a lot of oils in our hands and feet. So it allows for that quick absorption right into the circulatory system. And when applied to the feet, it bypasses the liver. And because essential oils are fat soluble, it doesn't put a tax on the liver so much if you put them on the soles of the feet. So that's just a quick little fun fact for you, that if you're looking for a quick benefit of using an essential oil, perhaps you're trying to ward off a cold, or maybe you're stressed out or just completely exhausted and you're looking for a way to relax, applying that essential oil to the soles of the feet will get that into your circulatory system quickly. So try that next time. And lastly, different ways to use essential oils is internally. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. This is definitely something you want to do under the guidance of a licensed practitioner or your primary care physician, a naturopathic doctor, something of that sort. It's very, very, very touch and go here when you start ingesting essential oils and taking them internally. Although when we diffuse them, aromatically, they get into our bloodstream, or when we put them topically, they eventually work themselves in as well. But when you actually take them orally and ingest them, you really need to know and understand what it is you're trying to use the essential oil for and the dosage that you use. And then, as I mentioned earlier, and we're going to dive more into this in just a moment, the quality of the oil you're using becomes so important. So some oils are safe to take internally and use to provide for specific health benefits, and always remember, a little bit goes a long way. And I mean essentially one drop can go a long way. So again, we're not spending a bunch of time here. So starting to use essential oils, the best way to start is find a couple, find 2 or 3 that you really like and that you're comfortable with, and add them to your routine. Like I mentioned, you can diffuse them in your home, apply them topically to less sensitive areas, and those areas are like your wrists. You can add them to a bottle for cleaning. Tea tree oil or melaleuca oil is a great oil to add to your cleaning regimen. It's antimicrobial, antibacterial, so that's a great cleaning essential oil. Purchase high quality essential oils. The market's flooded with oils, like I mentioned, that are potentially offer a little benefit to you and potentially are very toxic to your health. So always use caution around folks who are pregnant, around pets and children. And the reason I mention this is some of those chemical compounds are harsh to an embryo, a fetus, for a pregnant woman. Some essential oils can actually induce labor, so be very careful there. And there are some essential oils as a child, again, they're more sensitive, they're growing little human beings. And then pets are also very sensitive to some, and their systems cannot handle some of the chemical chemical compounds of an essential oil. So again, know and understand what you're using and make sure that it's safe for everyone in your environment. So here we go, the 4 grades of essential oils. I mentioned that it's so important when you go to buy an essential oil that you know and understand the differences. So let's talk about those. First, the first one, which is obviously the worst one, is synthetic and altered oils. This is created in a lab, right? They've tried to create the fragrance of the essential oil in a lab. It's not truly coming from the leaves, bark, limbs, tree, fruits of a plant or a tree. It's the lowest grade of an essential oil, and often they contain undesirable fillers, and they are definitely not pure. Secondly, we have natural and pure, and I say, quotations around pure essential oils. They're overly processed and they lose the beneficial compounds like we talked about earlier. Commonly, this is the most commonly sold type of essential oil, and it is very often heat distilled. It doesn't require any certification or oversight to claim that it's natural or pure. And that's very important when you're looking for a good quality product. And I mean, anything that you're going to ingest or put on your body, you really want to make sure that it is sourced and it's good. It's been backed by a lab, maybe a third-party independent review. So just make sure you check for that. The third type is a certified therapeutic grade essential oil. Again, this is cold extracted, may or may not have been exposed to chemicals or pesticides. And when I say that, when it's grown, right, when the actual plant or tree is grown, it hasn't been exposed to the pesticides. And when it's extracted, there is no chemical, or there could be a chemical process. Therapeutic grade is a first-party designation, which means that they do that verification themselves. Certified USDA organic essential oils, number 4, is the highest grade. It's the one that I would often recommend. If you can find an organic essential oil that's therapeutic grade, actually has a nutritional label on it or a supplementation label on it, that is golden. This is the greatest, and they have the most beneficial properties to you. They are free of any pesticides, herbicides, or chemicals, and they have a third-party certification for purity. And what that means is that an independent lab, an independent party, has verified what they're claiming is actually true. And again, that's so important when you're looking for a therapeutic, organic, essential grade essential oil that you want to introduce into your home. And that is for diffusing, adding to your personal care products, or again, taking internally under the guidance of a licensed practitioner. Those are the ones you want. You know they're good quality and they're not going to harm you if you use them correctly, and more importantly, they're not going to harm you just because of the added toxins or the toxics that are around. So, beginner essential oils. Let's go through some of these. I mentioned I would cover 10 of them. So let's start off with lavender. Lavender is the most beautiful essential oil. It's the easiest to use. Some people love lavender, some people don't care for it at all. But it has some great properties to it. It's anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant. It can be used to reduce anxiety, emotional stress. It can be used to improve sleep. So if you diffuse that in the evening time, it can help alleviate headaches, and it can boost brain health. So again, if you're diffusing this essential oil around your home, maybe at night before you go to bed, and better yet, like I mentioned earlier, you can rub it on the soles of your feet to get that immediate relief you're looking for if you're stressed or anxious. Peppermint is another great essential oil. This one definitely you would want to use a carrier oil with. I wouldn't apply this neat to your body. It does burn quite deeply, and again, a little bit goes a long way. It's antimicrobial, it's anti-spasmatic, which means if you have spasms, it's an expectorant. Antiseptic, it's anti-inflammatory. It can be used to relieve pain, boost energy, and even freshen your breath. Again, making those personal care products, make homemade toothpaste, or even just a mouthwash. So again, a beautiful, beautiful oil to use and integrate into your day-to-day life. Lemon is another great essential oil, and this one is interesting, and I'll just share with you how you can actually use lemon oil right in your own home. If you buy a lemon, right, just a lemon from the grocery store, and you squeeze that lemon, you're going to get the juices out of it. But if you really just paid attention and you pressed your thumbs into the skin of a lemon and you see those little squirts, that beautiful fresh smell, that citrus smell that you get, that's pure essential oil, right? It didn't have to go to a lab or be processed in a process facility. You just extracted the lemon oil all yourself. So lemons, oranges, grapefruits, all of those fruits with that outer skin that carry that oil in them, just be mindful. It's right there at your disposal to use anytime. Make sure you know how the fruit was grown, though. That's important too. So lemon oil, antibacterial, it's invigorating, uplifting, refreshing. It can be used topically, and it is a natural cleaning agent. So if you're looking to whiten clothes, clean off your countertops, clean a garbage disposal, all that is great. Frankincense. Oh, frankincense. It is the king of the oils, right? This oil can be used for almost anything. It has a wide range of health and wellness benefits. So again, anti-inflammatory. It helps so much, even reducing tumors, and there are studies out there that it says even helps cancer, reduce cancer tumors. And then tea tree oil, I mentioned this earlier, it's melaleuca oil, and again, it's antibacterial, antifungal, treats infections, it kills strains of bacteria and fungi, stimulates the immune system, and again, can be used in a cleaning product just to clean your everyday home. It's very beautiful for that as well. Eucalyptus, we all love eucalyptus. You walk into a spa or maybe a floral arrangement, just that scent of eucalyptus is beautiful. It's an expectorant, which we would know and understand, so you could rub this on your chest if you have a cold or flu, something like that. Cleanses the body of harmful microorganisms and toxins, and it can be used to relieve allergies and sinus issues. So again, create a nice rub with this with a carrier oil, place it on your chest, maybe even on your back, breathe it in, boil some hot water, and then put the essential oil in that hot water, drape your head over that pot with a towel over your head, and that's very beautiful. It'll help with a congestion or sinus or allergies. Oregano oil. This is another good one, and a lot of people say it smells like pizza, and it does. So if you use oregano oil, someone might ask you if you've been eating pizza. But it's antimicrobial, it treats viral infections, allergy symptoms, and is great for cold and flu. So here's another little tip. It's oregano oil used with a carrier oil, and I love coconut oil. Coconut oil is so diverse and offers so many other properties, healing properties on its own. If you put oregano oil with coconut oil and rub this on the soles of your feet, if you are struggling with a cold or flu, trust me, it's going to help ward that off sooner than later. Again, we talked about getting a prescription for, an antibiotic. Oregano oil is great for that. Just rub it on the soles of your feet, put some socks on, go to bed, diffuse your lavender oil, and wake up feeling great. Grapefruit oil, I just mentioned this one when I was talking about lemon. It's anti-inflammatory, it's an antioxidant. It promotes detoxification, curbs sugar cravings, which is great. So again, if you want to diffuse grapefruit oil, it improves mood, decreases fluid retention. So another beautiful oil. Rosemary is antiseptic, antimicrobial. You use this to relieve muscle aches and pains, improves brain function, and also is known to stimulate hair growth. So again, including this in your shampoos, conditioners, creating your own personal care products would be lovely. And then clove is a powerful antibacterial, antiseptic. It treats infections, relieves pain and discomfort associated with oral health. So this would be a great one if you're experiencing anything, in your oral cavities. And it's great for homemade toothpaste as well. So here we are, we're at the end of episode 10. So just to recap, we talked about what essential oils are, how you can integrate them into your day-to-day life, how you can use them, and we talked about the top 10 essential oils that are safe for anyone to begin to use. And again, I recommend that you just pick 2 or 3, start to use them, and once you're comfortable with them, go ahead and start to add more into your regiment. I hope you found this helpful, and I'm super excited that we're here on episode 10, and I look forward to many, many more. Until next time, enjoy.
Have you been wanting to improve your eating habits, better understand your body, make self-care a priority, or experience an increase in overall happiness in your life? If you said yes to these questions, Health and Wellness Bootcamp's Bridget Eslinger has a solution for you. As a functional medicine and integrative nutrition health coach, Bridget is a personal advocate for living an energized and passionate life, striving to help clients improve their lives. You can discover food and lifestyle choices that best support you while being flexible, fun, and free of denial. Health and Wellness Bootcamp also carries a variety of natural products to support you in your overall health and wellness journey. Join Bridget today for a 1-hour health consultation to discuss how you can reach your personal goals. Remember, she is here to create a supportive environment while exploring what really works for each individual. Making gradual, lifelong changes enables you to reach your current and future health goals. Other services include sessions with a choice of floor yoga or trapeze yoga. Trapeze yoga uses a sling and gravity to give your body that extra stretch it may need. Don't wait to sign up. Space is limited. Health and Wellness Bootcamp is located in the Ohio State University Endeavor Center at 1862 Shyville Road in Piketon, Ohio, and they are open by appointment. Be sure to check her Facebook page for current yoga sessions. So what are you waiting for? Let's do this.